and then we'll be finished.
Hi, I'm Joyce Jones of Black Enterprise. John Lewis put his life at considerable risk and danger so that you could stand here and talk about freedoms. And I want to know why it is so impossible for you to think that he impossible to believe that somebody actually did spit on him or call him the N-word. Why would he lie about that when he's experienced so much worse?
Okay, I'm going to provide an answer, then someone can follow up. I see Mr. Kane walking up here like that. First of all, there has been no evidence to substantiate the claim. And if we were just to look at that, there's been no evidence.
Why is his word not good enough?
Well, in the stage of public opinion, evidence is paramount. Okay, other than that, then it's one person's accusation against another. And if it was so public, then it should not be a difficult time in finding the public evidence, and there is none.
But so, we were there that day because we were covering.
Did you hear it?
I was not walking with him, but there were crowds, so it's very easy
I'm giving you
to
answer
assume
A.
that such a thing could occur, and not everybody would see it. It's not like there were cameras filming the whole thing all day.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to have Zoe and then Andrew follow up.
Now, I understand. Why shouldn't his word be good enough? Why wasn't George Bush's word good enough?
But let's not compare.
No.
What's so fair?
I'm talking about Mr. Lewis,
I'm
not
the narrator.
Mr. Bush.
I'm the narrator. Okay.
Now, if the spittle is on his shirt, at least Monica Lewinsky kept her skirt. You know, I mean, where's the spittle? I mean, we could just go ahead and read it. We'll take it down to the dry cleaner. We'll extract the spit, and there you go. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, even my friend Andrew Breitbart offered a $100,000 reward, and no evidence has been brought up.
Your friend who doctored the NAACP.
Doctored it. If he doctored it, he did them a favor. Because if you look at the whole tape, you'll find out just how racist Shirley Sherrod is.
I have to say something.
We have a response.
Let me respond to this point very quickly. John Lewis is a hero. Okay, may disagree with him on a variety of ideological questions, but he's a hero. He wears his crown on his head from the lumps he took in the civil rights revolution. Having said that, why? Unfortunately, politics is very persuasive. Why did John Lewis stand up with Bob Byrd? Not only a former Klansman, but a former general within the Ku Klux Klan. Why did Robert Byrd support the filibuster, which was so often used to stifle the civil rights revolution that he was a part of, when it was used against Janice Rogers Brown when she was going up for the appellate judgeship? Because often political pressure and political politics can persuade you to do things that you might not often do. But the bottom line in this case, Congressman Cleaver, alleged that somebody spit on him. The Capitol Police stopped this person, grabbed this person, asked Mr. Cleaver if they want him arrested. Cleaver said no. Now, does he not have a responsibility to stop all this racism? He's a congressman. He's a congressman. And he refused to press charges. Why? Because it is a fraudulent issue. Stop playing with racism. A man in Connecticut just killed 9 people playing the victim card and alleging racism. It's a powder keg, folks. And you should not play games with it in our country. We've come a long way, and we don't want to look back.
I just wanted to say about Shirley Sherrod. You guys haven't asked her to apologize or to even say thank you to Glenn Beck, who is the person who said that she should not have been fired. Okay, did you guys ask her? Did you guys ask her to say thank you to Glenn Beck? Or, you know, yeah, Fox News and all other news sources, all the news sources that are represented here have people who are racist. Now, I was a part of the NAACP. My husband and I were a part of the Beverly Hills Hollywood NAACP, and they did not want my husband and I to be on it because we're an interracial couple and because they took our names off the ballot. And I told them if our names did not mysteriously reappear the same way it mysteriously disappeared, there would be hell to pay for it. So if you guys want to talk to somebody, go talk to them and ask them how come they're racist.
We had one more question.
Real quick comment. In the words of Johnny Cochran, if there is no spit, you must acquit.
And I also might add that also might add as a congressman to attack the people and to point his finger and to seek provocation was less than what we would expect from a congressman. Ma'am, you had a question.
Yes, sir. I'm Lauren Burke from the Bill newspaper. I'm wondering, you guys are talking a lot about the NAACP, and that's fine. I'm wondering if you have any specific policy endorsements, any specific policy written down. Is anyone up there running for office on any level? Or is this just... obviously, okay.
We do have a person running for office, but let me just say,
I'm wondering about the substance of policy with regard to your groups, everyone.
Okay, well, let me just say that the purpose for this gathering is to express that there are no racial motivations or content in the Tea Party movement. That's the purpose for this gathering. Now, as it pertains to your questions, I'm sure there are a lot of people here who are politically involved. But this was not a gathering to endorse a politician or to get into that arena of it. This is just to emphatically state that the Tea Party movement does not endorse racism. It has not and will not. Okay.
And something else, too. The purpose of this press conference is to introduce America to all of these conservatives. Like every time I talk to the media, they're always saying, "Where are the blacks? Where are the blacks?" Well, here's the blacks.
We are. Can you hear us now? Can you see us now?
As far as policy, it's very simple for me, and the reason I think the Tea Party supports this lock, stock, and barrel, it's about the Constitution. And I want to encourage everyone in America who might see this, read your Constitution. And then once you've done it, read it again. Go through, find the words that you don't know what they mean. Read the 10th Amendment very specifically and find out what the word delegate, powers not delegated, mean. Because it's a lack of understanding of what our founding documents are that have brought us to this point where we're actually ready to give up our republic in exchange for a social democracy. And that is not what most of us want. That is what the Tea Party is against. And regarding other organizations, I want to point out that the Afro last week ran a cartoon in its editorial page, and it shows Shirley Sherrod being tied to a stake, and a man in a white hood and a white robe with the words "right-wing conservative media" over it, lighting fire to that. Now, that's a lynching in my book. But, you know, nobody is calling the Afro magazine out of it. I call on them, I call on the NAACP to cast the progressives out of their movement.
Absolutely. Who's under the hood?
Mrs. Owens, and then we're going to have
I just have a small statement to make on the heels of what Mr. Lloyd Marcus has stated, that why we're gathered here today. We're gathered here today because we wanted to introduce you to Tea Party patriot groups such as ourselves, more specifically Tea Party Express. And I can tell you that as an individual, I can take a lot of things coming my way. First of all, I'm a woman. Second of all, I'm not only a woman, I'm a woman of color. Let me break it down how much color there is. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm black, I'm Cape Verdean, I'm Portuguese, I'm Native American, I'm also Jewish. I think I cover a wide spectrum of all the minority groups. But let me emphatically say that before I'm ethnically proud of all of that I have going on, as a Christian first, but also as an American second, I don't find a better group of people that I would stand with to fight with for my liberties and for my freedoms while God gives me breath on this earth. I think that's really the long and short of it. You're not going to eradicate racism in America because people have that in their heart. But neither are you going to put it on our backs and make us carry the mantle of that because we want to speak out because somebody who's in office happens to have some color in his blood too. If he's making policy that's not good for America, we intend to continually speak out against it. And as I said in my opening statements, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Something very, very, very quick. I just want to, something I like to say when I go to Tea Party rallies and things. I would like for everybody here who considers themselves a minority to please raise their hand. Please raise your hand if you consider yourself a minority. Okay, so these two ladies have decided not to raise their hand. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't feel like playing the game.
No, okay, I understand. That's fine. Now, let me take an issue with you. Women, minority, quote-unquote minorities, their fight is for equal pay for equal work. correct? Equal pay for equal work. Did they fight for equal pay for equal work because they're minorities? Or because they don't consider themselves to be minorities? Because they're equal. Then, if they do it because they're equal, then why do they consider themselves minorities? Do you understand the point? A gentleman came up to me one time and he said, I came here in 1964 from Jamaica. I went to the University of Maryland to fill out my application. And he said he had a friend with him, and he was filling out the application. He got to the box that said race. And he looked at his friend and he said, what is this thing called race? You see, if we're going to have policy, it needs to start with the understanding that race should never be an issue. And when we start from that point, then the United States of America will start to become a different country and reach its full potential.